we hear what we want to hear. When we're asking for advice, we really gotta stop and think, do we really want to hear what we want to hear? Or do we want to hear what we need to hear? Roll it. When we're asking for advice, people have a misconception of what it is they really want versus what they really need. Human nature dictates that we will hear what we want to hear, especially when we're so emotionally tied up into something that's affected us so profoundly. A few things could be occurring, and we're going to list off the main ones we usually see so that maybe it will help you really think this through next time you're asking for help. Firstly, the ego takes over. The ego basically is saying, I know everything, I know what I have to do, but it's too hard, so I'm not gonna go ask the advice from somebody who's gonna tell me exactly what I know I need to do, but rather I'm gonna go to somebody who's gonna tell me what I wanna hear so I can get that comfort and that peace inside of me, knowing that I'm not the only one doing what I know I want to do instead of what I need to do. Secondly, we look at it from a perspective of what we really want. Justification for what we want versus what we need. People will look for other people that will justify, give reasoning, validation to what they want to do. Hence, you'll always see people when they're in a bind, they'll go to those same few people that give them the wrong advice. See, their mentality is similar, so they work on the same wavelengths and they go towards them because they know that feeling is gonna be there, that validation. So when they do it, they know that even if it screws up, I can blame somebody else and off we go. Because those people I'm blaming, well, they're gonna sit there and support me because they know they were in on this decision I made. This leads us to the next part of this blame game, because if I go to somebody who tells me what I want to hear, they justify it, and it's not because they're friends with me, but rather because they want to be closer friends with me, or they just want to do a little number on my life. Well, now I can blame them, get in a fight with them, move or redirect my anger away from the actual issue and onto them. Finally, it's this idea of I want it now. Usually when people tell you what you need to hear, it's the harder of the two paths that you're gonna be able to choose from. It's very simple. Most cases, it has something to do where you have to drop your ego and use your integrity, stand up for yourself, and do what's right. Doing what's right is extremely difficult, and this is why people are always in problems, because that takes practice. And over time, you get good at being able to emotionally control your heart, your mind, and your body, and be in sync. You become one with yourself, and you know that integrity always is number one on your plate, so that when you're making any decision, integrity guides you. It's not fear-based. It's not based on the ego's want to control and make sure you're going to be okay through fear. And it's certainly not because you want the easy route, but rather you want the right route. Now, many reasons exist. I've listed off the, most common ones. And the biggest thing that we want to look at from this whole idea is that when we're going out for advice, it's not what we want to hear, but what we need to hear. We need to find people that will tell us exactly what we need to hear. If you do not surround yourself with those people in your life, friends, acquaintances, family members, etc., you will be stuck in a loop where you go to friends who want to tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear, never getting that all-important advice that makes sense and works, leading you to a loop of constant misery whenever a problem arises, situation, or whatever, and you need to make a decision on how to proceed. I have go-to people. All the people in my life that are just loving life have go-to people. All the people who have go-to people tend to have go-to people that make sure they tell them exactly what they need to hear when they are in a crisis, when they are in an emotional need for support. This is because when we hear what we need to hear, not what we want to hear. Decisions on what we need to do make sense, they're logical, it is a proper advice we need, and it helps us move forward. It helps us move in a direction that is congruent with what we want, what our actual dreams are, our mission and purpose in life. The support from these people comes in this form. And once you have this, well, everything starts to build. Life starts to move in the right direction. And before you know it, life stops being so complicated. Less problems start to present themselves, and when they do, solutions are quick, because practice starts to help you with the direction you're moving in, such that when a problem does arise, you're congruent with yourself, with your integrity, with the mission and purpose that we just talked about, and things get moving in the right direction. My name is Nicholas Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. If this is your first time here, I encourage you to watch the rest of the videos in the series. And of course, for everybody out there, leave a comment below. Let me know the times that you go for help and you want to hear what you want to hear instead of what you need to hear. Let me know how that's worked out. And of course, hit a like and hit subscribe.
Snow him.